Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Healthcare Education Transformation Podcast. We're excited to bring a new segment this year, Metacognition Mondays with Antony Lowe. Very excited to have Antony joining the team to further grow our Metacognition of Leadership Institute, MOLLI as we call it, and really dive into what metacognition is, how we need to be using it, how we can learn better, how we can teach better, all the things. So without further ado, I'd love to turn it over to Antony. Antony, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
My name's Antony Lowe. I am I'm a physical therapist. I work in Sydney, Australia. I'm also an educator. I teach online, I teach in person around the world. And I like to work at the junction of pelvic health, musculoskeletal, ortho, and sports performance and rehab. So you don't even need to have a problem to come and see me. I love working with high performance athletes and just helping people achieve what they want to achieve. With my broad spectrum of experience, I also have many different topics that I love teaching on, but what I'm most known for is that combination of pelvic health, ortho, and sports performance. What else am I? I am not an expert at metacognition. I'm running Metacognition Mondays because I love thinking about thinking, I love learning, and I think this is one of the best ways to find out what's going on in the world of metacognition and to learn from some truly great people. I've got a whole bunch of different guests that I would love to have on the podcast. And if you've got people that you would love to see on this podcast, please let us know, because I am more than happy to take requests and try to get people on the podcast so that we can learn from them as well. I do try to think differently. I love working and I love seeing patients and I love solving complex problems. I love complex cases. And it's not because I get everybody better. It's because I love the process of thinking and challenging ideas and challenging what they've already had and challenging what I think they need and seeing where I'm wrong. I love seeing where I'm right. Everybody has that kind of bias. So that's the sort of thing that I love getting into. Thinking differently about things, just uncovering what biases and assumptions that I have, what beliefs, attitudes, meaning, and stories that I have. I call these BAMs and bars. I think they're really important. So you'll be hearing about BAMs and bars a lot. I also love discussion. So please get into the comments, start a discussion with us. I would love to interact with everybody who comments. If this gets super busy, it's going to be hard, but I really do appreciate interaction. And that's why we have got different formats for this podcast. So it will be weekly on a Monday. I will be pre-recording a bunch of episodes as we go along, just so that I've got stuff to come out every Monday. I prefer doing things live, but this way there'll be a consistent flow for you on Mondays. It should be about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes per podcast episode. We're going to have different topics and discussion points. You know, I'm very transparent. I'm not going to lie to you. I got ChatGPT to work with me and all my prompts to build out 48 weeks of episodes for this podcast, which is great. It means that I've got some sort of framework to go through. It's got some talking points to come up. And I want to go through these and see what comes up in my thinking, what comes up in your thinking, so that we can use these discussion points to get through where we're going. I'm looking forward to talking to guests about different topics that they're interested in and seeing how these fit in as well. Not only that, it's not just going to be in healthcare. It's not, I've got a couple of comedians who have agreed to do the podcast. And I think comedians are great because they really do sit back and look at the world through a different lens. And they love challenging the status quo and why do we do things like this? And then they turn it into a bit, into a funny bit. And I love that process. I talked to a couple on a cruise that I was on a few months ago, and they've agreed to come on and share their story and their thinking process on how they look at the world and challenge their biases. So that'll be great. And every month, I'm hoping to do a live episode where we go through a list of the cognitive biases from the Cognitive Bias Codex. The Cognitive Bias Codex, Cognitive Biases Codex, you'll find Wikipedia has it. There's four main areas in this codex. So I'm going to choose a few from each of the four main areas. And the goal is that throughout the year, we should get through all of them. And we can just revisit them if we get through all of them. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to the interaction and the practical examples that come from all of this. So yes, the examples will be from healthcare. It will be from PT because I'm a PT in healthcare, but also it will come from leadership. It will come from people who are professors, people who are in management, and then people who are not in healthcare, but are working in metacognition. So I'm looking forward to all of this, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all on this podcast. If you like my content, you can find me at antonylow.com or mypteducation.com. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Antony now for years, and the thing that I love about him is the way he thinks and why I'm blessed to call him a team member on this project because just like he said, metacognition and thinking about thinking and critical thinking, decision making, all of these skills are skills that we need whether we're in healthcare or we're in comedy, right? Business owners, CEOs, C-suite level execs. The Metacognition of Leadership Institute is really built for those that want to challenge themselves and push themselves to become better thinkers, modern day philosophers, and really take it the next step and the next level and teach the next generation how to do these things as well. Because I have heard it time and time again, especially in academia, that a lot of these students these days just don't know how to critically think. And it's like, okay, well, if that is the case and that's what's going on, what is the solution? How can we help that? How can we make that better? And I obviously hope that we get some students in the group, but at the same time, I feel like whoever joins the group, it's not only your personal charge to learn this stuff and to get better at it and learn how to think differently, how to think better, how to critically think, problem solve. But then again, take it the next step and pass that on to the next generation. And so that's why, I'm so pumped for this segment. I am excited for what Mondays have to bring. Um, I love the fact that Antony is very hands-on and likes to, get into the chats and have discussions and respond to comments. So you can easily reach out to us at hetpodcast@gmail.com if you have recommendations for episodes or guests. You can follow at HET Podcast on all the socials. Um, Antony's got his own handles under the Physio Detective, all of those on social, so follow him there as well. You'll see him, like I said, interacting a bunch with a lot of the comments. And I think the first point is how do I get started? If I'm interested in this, I'm listening to the podcast. I love what I'm hearing. I want more of it. I want to be a part of a community that gets together, weekly and talks about this stuff and reads literature and research and books and has, guest lecturers come in. That's what Molly is, right? That's what the metacognition of leadership is all about. And we have a white paper that we've kind of written out for the Metacognition of Leadership Institute, and it's really just a great group of independent thinkers who are trying to push their boundaries and the limits of what is possible when it comes to being a better thinker, being a problem solver, being a leader. And so the easiest way to get that white paper right now will be to head to the stan.store/PT Educator. There'll be a free downloadable version there, or hetmolly.com. So hetmoli.com. There'll be a link there to download the free white paper as well. So you can learn a little bit more about it. Um, we have a membership, a monthly membership to join the Metacognition of Leadership Institute. It's very affordable. And then there's another layer to that too, where if you want coaching from some of our team leads, or if you want coaching and mentorship from somebody who's doing something that you might want to do and be more interested in, we have options for that as well. So, really looking forward to this project. I'm really looking forward to what Antony brings to the podcast, especially for the Monday segments. And it sounds like you're going to be doing a live segment monthly as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Antony?
Yep. Every month live on YouTube. It's going to be, you just watch it on YouTube and you can type in the comments and I'll be able to see it. And I'll be looking forward to that. For those who are Molly members, you'll be able to get access to the Zoom link and you can interact live as we're going. So that's for the members. And then for those who want to donate, hopefully we can build up enough interest that we can get a donation going and we'll just go from there. So there's a lot there. We're just going to do our best, eke it out there and hit it hard, hit it fast, make an impact in your lives.
Yeah, we've been running the Molly group for the last year, and I personally have gained so much from it, from just whether it's presenting or attending. It's a really great group of thinkers. We had some really great guest lectures and guest speakers come. The books that we cover are really wide on the spectrum, from picture books and comic books to textbooks to everything in between. And again, it's trying to find new and different ways to think outside the box to help us become adaptable and real independent when it comes to problem solving and thinking, right? Because the two things that I've always said that I really want my kids to be proficient in is problem solving and radical confidence, right? I want them to be confident, knowing they can go into almost any setting, any situation and figure it out, right? Even if they fail, because I think that's been a big one over the last few years, is realizing that failure is how we learn. And I have no problem failing. I've told my stories thousands of times at this point, whether on this podcast or my own podcast or somebody else's podcast. I fail a lot, and I'm okay with that. But I think the big thing is taking away from those failures, failing forward, and moving forward and progressing to a point where you can actually benefit from those failures, learn, get better, and eventually become that top level, top notch problem solver and thinker that we all strive to become. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to some of the guests, because like we said, the HET podcast focuses very heavily in the healthcare field, specifically in physical therapy. Obviously, we've branched out and interviewed doctors and dentists and nurses and OTs and speech. We've tried to hit them all up to just figure out best practices in teaching and learning. And I love that we're taking it even a step further now with Molly and with Metacognition Monday, to have some guests that are really outside the box for our group, so that they can see that it's very easy to use some of these and adapt and learn from different people in different settings. So appreciate you, Antony. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the episodes. Any last remarks, pointers, anything, tips, tricks you want to share?
Not at all. We're just going to record a few now and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Looking forward to it, bud.